Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a new moon love ritual. Now I was originally planning to do a Valentine's Day ritual and also a new moon ritual, but on account of recent events and not posting for 2 weeks, I didn't and don't have time now. And if you're on Instagram, you already know about it. And on that note, thank you for those who have been really supportive. But moving along, this ritual does not have to necessarily be for romantic love. It can be, it's kind of designed to lean that way, but it can be for self-love, romantic love. It could also be to infuse more love into an existing relationship. It can just be to bring more loving relationships into your life that aren't necessarily romantic. It's all going to come down to your intentions. And I will also provide some alterations for the ritual itself, depending upon the intention that you want to use. So that's the intro. Without further ado, let's get into it.
I just wanna love you, just wanna hold you, just wanna be with you till we grow old. Please tell me you'll stay or take me away. I want you for myself every single day. You set my world on fire. You set my world on fire.
Now, if you're new here, I have an entire video on how I prepare for my rituals. I also have a whole video on how I smudge my space. If you are interested in seeing that, it will be in the description box below. This ritual is going to be easy peasy fucking lemon squeezy, guys. I know my rituals are often long and involved and energetically taxing, but this one is not. So, and we're not setting anything on fire. Well, there's a candle. So there's a little fire, but I'm not burning anything today, so really changing it up. That being said, you're going to gather your supplies first, which is just going to be a glass bottle. For this video, I'm going to be showing you the ritual with one of these tiny, cute, adorable bottles that I recently acquired. I have a pack of them and I love them. However, I typically use recycled bottles. This is from a curry paste jar. I have a ton of these. I have purchased so much curry paste. It's just disgusting. I love it. I eat it all the time. And I keep the jars. I hoard glass jars like a crazy person. I recommend recycling if you can. Now, if you can't, you don't have one, whatever, feel free to purchase one. You only need a small jar for this ritual, nothing large. You can use a big jar if you want to, but small is fine. You're also going to need herbs, crystals, and a candle, pen, and paper. For the herbs and the crystals, you want to go with love associations. Now, this can be personalized to you as well. So while roses and lavender and basil are kind of traditionally love herbs and flowers, if you have a personal association with daffodils and daffodils make you feel like love, then use daffodils. Personal associations are great and powerful. With that being said, I am going to put on the screen a list of traditional associations for herbs and crystals. Gather any of these, any variation of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want of these herbs and crystals for your space. After you've gathered your supplies, you want to set up your space. And this can be very personalized and should be very personalized to you. I'm not going to tell you how to set your space. This is a matter of personal creative expression. I will, however, give you a couple of kind of tips or ideas. If you are doing a ritual to infuse more love into an existing relationship, you could put a picture of you and your person on the altar with you. If you're doing a ritual for self-love, you can put a picture of yourself on the altar space. Other than that, I would go with traditional colors. So maybe like a red cloth or a white cloth or a green cloth or a pink cloth. If you have kind of some rose quartz or heart-shaped crystals, I would put all of those out. Just decorate the space in a way that makes you feel like it's exuding love. It's personal to you, so make sure your altar space just feels like love, right? And if that means fresh baked cookies, then put fresh baked, I don't know, whatever it is to you, do that, okay? It's personal, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna tell you how to do it. This is your shit, okay? Now, first thing you want to do to start this ritual, sit down with your pen and your paper. And as a side note, you can also additionally use colored ink for this part of the ritual. I have a pen that has crystals in it. That's like my magical pen. I will use that. So it's not colored, but you can, if you want to, use like a colored marker. A couple of options. One, you could make a sigil. If you know how already, then cool. If you don't, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We're going to skip this and go on to the next thing that you can do instead. The other option is if you are doing this to bring like a romantic interest into your life, then you can write out how it makes you feel. Focus on emotion. Emotion is a powerful mover of energy, right? It's like the body's energy barometer. So think about the emotions. How does it feel? How do you feel within this relationship? How do you feel about it? How do you feel about that person? How do you feel about whatever, right? Write out the feelings. I wouldn't get too specific on like, they look like this, or they do this for a living, or they have this, because you don't fucking know. you could totally, absolutely fall in love with somebody that doesn't look, act, talk, or think like anything you thought you would want, and then it turns out, surprise, you don't know shit, right? So I wouldn't focus on specifics about what you think you want. Those are often based on behavioral programs that you need to grow out of, honestly. So just focus on how it feels, right? What do you want it to feel like? And write that out. If you are doing this ritual for self-love, write a love letter to yourself. If you are doing this ritual to bring more love into your relationship, existing relationship, then write out how it feels to have it rekindled and how happy you are for that. Okay? So we can write a letter or you can do a sigil. That's your choice. While you're doing this, really make sure that you're focusing on the feelings, and then put it into your jar. Fold it up, water it up, spout it up, whatever. Put it in your jar. And as you do so, I want you to always be very conscious that you are pouring your intention in the jar with that motion. Next step is to put your herbs, or if you have little crystal flakes, put those in there as well. And when you do so, know that those items are imbuing your jar with even more love and compounding and energizing the jar itself to help bring about your will, okay? Next, you are going to just sit with your jar for at least 2 to 3 minutes and have a clear, concise focus. Just sit with the jar and focus entirely on the intention. Not like want, not like a desire, not like oh, I need to have this, because that's not going to help you. You just want to feel it. Like you live that feeling that you're hoping for 2 to 3 minutes solid. At this point, you're going to put your lid on your jar. You're going to get your candle out, and you're going to put your candle on your jar. Now, easiest way to do this is to melt some candle wax on the top of your jar, and then use that little puddle of melted wax to stick the bottom of the candle into, and then allow that candle to burn. As it is burning, I want you to look into the flame of the candle and continue to kind of do a candle meditation, manifestation practice where you just kind of sit with the feelings and kind of come to a sense of peace and knowing that everything is working out the way that it's supposed to, and what happens next is for your highest good, that kind of thing. Just sit there and watch it and be there in that moment and allow the energy to kind of build. A couple of notes. The idea here is we want the candle to melt down and use the wax to seal the jar, okay? Now, if you have a candle that is like way too much wax to the side of your jar, that's okay. You can totally like blow it out early and remove it, or tip it upside down and melt additional wax on the top, whatever you have to do. Don't worry too much about these little minor details. I think a lot of people oftentimes when they're getting started with these kind of practices, they really stress themselves out over minor details. Like, if I don't do this and if I don't do that, then it doesn't work. And it's not about these details. These details are just helping you to bring thought into physical form. You are just going through the motion of taking what is non-physical and making it physical. The details are nothing to fret about. So the basic idea is you want the wax to seal the jar. Allow that to happen. However, you have to let that happen, okay? Once your jar is done and it's sealed, you're going to either put it in a place that you will see regularly in your day-to-day life or carry it with you. As a side option, if you place this jar in your house in a place that you'll see regularly, I want you to tell it, I love you. Just say it repeatedly, because what you're doing is you're just pouring more love into this thing, which is magnifying and directing your love for you. What you come out comes back, or what you give out comes back. And this is kind of this, think about it like, imagine that this jar takes your intentions, supercharges them, and then directs them like a laser beam to your focus. You can just keep pouring love into this jar. You can just keep every day and be like, oh, hey, I love you, to the jar. Okay, you can just do that. I recommend doing that. Or you just carry it with you and feel that jar kind of washing over your overall vibration and going with you day in and day out to give you an entire kind of a bubble of love. Either way is good. It's whatever you want to do, whatever works for you. Okay? I'm super interested in knowing what people are going to use this ritual for. Are you going to use it for self-love, romantic love, whatever existing relationship? I would like to know the breakdown, like the ratio. So if you could leave a comment below letting me know, if you're willing to, obviously. If you don't want to, cool. But if you're willing to let me know, I'd love to know that. Also, if you appreciate this video at all, I would really, really, really appreciate it if you could hit the like button or a subscribe, a comment. These things help me out a lot, so I really appreciate that from you. And if you would like to, follow me on Instagram. I'm very active there. I'm trying to be active on Twitter. I'm not great at it. I basically abandoned Facebook. But I'm all those places, so feel free to follow me elsewhere. And I hope you guys have a happy new moon, and good luck on your journey, and bye.